Shalom. Call halal, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Bakakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles, double honors unto the elder bishops. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so, now more so than ever. The 144,000 and the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth, that be among the heathen, that look like the heathen, the Israelite foreigners. And to the Akwath that are listening and learning, to you I say Shalom. This is your brother Malcolm from the branch of the Great Millstone here in Chicago, coming at you another lesson in truth. And this is inspired by the beloved elder brother Manat Zakba here. And there was a couple other videos that I was sitting on that I've been wanting to use. And when I saw this one, the Spirit put it on me to go ahead and do it. So let me read 2 Thessalonians, because, this narrative, this false narrative that these Edomites have thrown out there that has worked for so long isn't working anymore. And the ignoring of all the evidence that proved them, what they do is they keep the evidence out of court, if they allow you to come to court at all. And now, through the power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, we've been forcing them into court and forcing them to forcing the evidence to be examined. Because what they do, if there is no evidence, they show you that in the movies. You don't have a murder weapon or you don't have a body, then it never happened. Well, that's the oldest, the modus operatus of the Esau Edom, the so-called white man. All right, but this is 2 Thessalonians 2:8. And it reads, "And then shall the wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming." So the brother so strategically put together this sound bite of these people, these two women, claiming the truth, the evidence to be a conspiracy, all right, and asked for it to be produced, and well, then the evidence was produced. All right, so without any further ado.
Now, few times, all the people we gave them time to everybody, and we gave them food, we gave them gas, we gave them everything to the hospital. Whoever stayed in Gaza, that's terrorists. They wanted to be murdered. That's the difference between us and them.
That's true.
You see, Hamas killing their own people that are targeted. Well, we have they killing their own people. I just want to tell you that they killing their own people. We came and we gave them food and things, and the Hamas didn't want them to take it. They were beating them.
Okay. Well, let me ask y'all two questions.
I just want to say one thing. So I came from Israel. The reason I'm here is because I was in the war. I experienced it.
In the war?
I have friends who were murdered. I have friends whose parents were murdered.
So you've seen it firsthand.
I've seen it firsthand. I know what it's like.
We don't know.
I know what it's like to have missiles every 5 minutes over my head.
Okay.
To have my neighboring building blown up. I know what that's like.
Okay,
and
now let me ask you a quick question.
Yeah.
Do you know who created Hamas? It's out there in the world.
True.
You know what they're saying? Who created Hamas?
No.
This Brady Mossad.
Oh, come on. That's
Don't
like
believe that. Don't believe it.
Come on, that's a conspiracy.
Don't believe that. Don't believe it.
Come on, that's a conspiracy theory. What
Do you believe it or you don't?
Show me the data.
I can show you. I said it's out there. It's out there.
Out there where? In Al Jazeera? It's all over the news.
It's all over the news.
Okay.
Now, I'm not saying.
It's not true. It's not true.
Okay. She says it's not true.
It's absolutely not true.
Okay, cool.
Absolutely not true.
Okay, cool.
Absolutely not true.
The gentlewoman from Florida is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'd like to yield 2 minutes to the gentleman from Texas, Dr. Paul.
The gentleman is recognized for 2 minutes.
Gentlelady for yielding and ask unanimous consent to revise and extend my remarks.
Without objection.
Madam Speaker, I rise in opposition to this resolution, not because I am taking sides and picking who the bad guys are and who the good guys are, but I'm looking at this more from the angle of being a United States citizen, an American. And I think resolutions like this really do us great harm. In many ways, what's happening in the Middle East, and in particular with Gaza right now, we have some moral responsibility for both sides in a way, because we provide help and funding for both Arab nations and Israel. And so we definitely have a moral responsibility, and especially now today, the weapons being used to kill Semitic Palestinians are American weapons, and American funds essentially are being used for this. But there's a political liability, which I think is something that we fail to look at because too often there's so much blowback from our intervention in areas that we shouldn't be involved in. You know, Hamas, if you look at the history, you'll find out that Hamas was encouraged and really started by Israel because they wanted Hamas to counteract Yasser Arafat.
There it is. Let's fast forward.
Israel either.
The Palestinian militant group Hamas has carried out brutal acts of terror against Israeli civilians, and Israeli and American leaders are always keen to tell us how dangerous and evil Hamas is.
The inhumanity of Hamas.
I have no sympathy for Hamas.
That keep shelling Israel with thousands of rockets and mortar shells.
But what if I told you that Israel helped create Hamas?
Now you can go and watch the video. I'm not gonna go all into the into that. You can watch the brother's video. All right, it's called Two Israeli Women. It's a conspiracy theory with a question mark. It wasn't a conspiracy theory at all. All right. And I got some other things lined up for you because what Esau Edom does is they like to control the narrative. All right. So I'm gonna give you an example. Here we go. Now, here's a video called A Discussion with Former Black Hebrew Israelite, Muzzle Tough Takes, all right? And they had to use the term Black Hebrew Israelite. Why? That's a buzzword, and that's a controlling narrative. Because when the discussion starts, the sellout turncoat, who's a nobody, he doesn't call himself a Black Hebrew Israelite. He calls himself a Hebrew Israelite. And this is a former IUIC member, and which is why I didn't recognize him, because they were saying like this guy was a part of it. Well, because IUIC members are not apt to teach the scriptures. They're not built up to teach the scriptures. Only Nate and selected individuals are allowed to teach. You would think with the size of their camps, that if every man was doing 3 videos a day, if they were actually on point, it would be beyond devastating to Esau Edom, because we're tearing them up already. All right. But if they were to actually join the battle righteously, but it's not meant to, because they're the house of Saul and we're the house of David. So it seems. All right. But just listen to this controlled false narrative. Remember, I've done so many videos on the word black. Black meaning ugly, dirty, evil, wicked, bad, untrustworthy. They replace the word swarthy, which was talking about skin complexion being different shades of brown, and they replaced it with the word black, all right, purposely, and or colored and all these other things, and they all to hide who the Israelites are, and not just the so-called Negro, but the so-called Native and Latin American Israelites as well, who also in many cases didn't look different from the Jake that's on the screen. All right, didn't look that much different, except maybe different textures of hair. But as far as complexion and facial features, they stood next to each other with their hair braided. You wouldn't be able to tell one from the other. And what I mean that is by a Negro, a Latino, or a Native American, if you went back 200, 300 years ago or further. All right, and these Edomites, all the evidence proving that they're of Khazarians, and that the Khazars are of the bloodline of Edom. Hell, the Ukrainian army is still using the Khazar symbol in their military campaigns today, in their flags today. The people here in Chicago of that descendancy are riding around with the Khazar symbol on their trucks, wearing necklaces and shirts and sweaters with that symbol on it. So the days of them controlling the narrative really has come to an end, which is why they're going to bring the famine of the word and shut it all down. But let's go.
Have a lineage, there's so many. So I'll say that for most black people, they don't have a lineage. There's so many black people don't even know who their father is. just the reality of the experience here in America.
Right. So, but how can you say that and not tell the reason why that is? That's not just something that just came about. That was the policy of the so-called white man that put so-called black people in that position, that made that a norm among them. It was their policies that did that, because they were fine before. The families were together. So you have to ask yourself what things happen, you know, although that kind of changes the point of the lesson, but, you know, so I'm going to get back to it. But, you know, all the policies that took place that were put in position by the so-called white people that did that to the so-called black families, to the black people.
No, they made it harder for me because I was Hebrew. I think they were worried about two things. One, are you going to be able to fit in? You got to be able to fit in with the Jews, you know?
So this group in Indianapolis is openly anti-Semitic. Do you think their views... Yeah. Do you think their views...
Now, anti-Semitic. There is no one in the Bible named Sem. All right? There was no one. You had Ham, Shem, and Japhet. All right? And, Salakia. You had Ham, Shem, and Japhet. All right, so you have Shemitic people, Japhetic people, and Hamitic people. You don't have any Sem people at all. All right? So once again, that's them trying to control the narrative, just like this whole Middle Eastern thing. There is no such thing as the Middle East. I wish brothers would stop saying it. Stop helping them to push that lie. The Middle East is Western Asia. All right, let's put the map on. There's a map of Asia. So from Israel to Turkey to Saudi Arabia, Yemen, you know, Iraq, Syria, all that, all the way to Iran, that's all of Asia. And the portion that's on the screen is Western Asia. It is and has not ever been the Middle East. That is a lie. So, you know, stop helping them brothers. Baba Kasha, you know. Let's be on one accord with this, please. All right? But these people are forever trying to control the narrative. And they use sellouts like this guy to do it.
The Jewish community will change given this event?
Not anytime soon.
So, guys, welcome to Muzzle Tough. We're two guys. We don't know what we're talking about today.
Never.
We are talking about current events, Black Hebrew Israelites, and much, much more. Mm-hmm. Like I said, we don't know what we're talking about. We have a very special guest today who happens to know what they're talking about. Everyone, please, big round of applause, sitting alone at home. Danny Vasiana, everybody. All right. I guess we'll jump into the current events thing real quick.
Well, first I have a question.
Oh, yeah.
That's okay. So, Danny, who are you?
All right, so my name is Danny Vasiana, and I am a convert to Judaism.
He's a convert to what he is. All right, and he's a former member of IUIC. And he's a complete imbecile and a loser. That's what he is. And the reason you don't know his face, and none of Israel knows who he is because he's never done an edifying video ever once in his life. He's never did anything to promote the body. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't be shocked if IUIC sent him, because they're part of this very system that we're fighting against with their 501c3 charter. You know, because they also are using the term Black Hebrew Israelites now. If you notice, IUIC, when they spoke, you know, vividly against that, you know, very aggressively as the rest of us. That look, we're the Hebrew Israelites. All right, and so Esau Edom loves to control the narrative and deny us our heritage and deny the truth. All right. All right. So, Let me get this scripture here. This is Zephaniah 3:19, and it reads, Behold, at that time I will undo all that afflict thee, and I will save her that is halteth, and gathereth her that was driven out. And I will give them praise and fame in every land wherein they have been put to shame. So they try to put us to shame by denying the evidences in the truth, but not allowing the evidences in the truth to be brought into the conversation, into the narration that they like to control. All right. At that time will I bring you again, even in the time that I will gather you. I will make you a name and a praise among all the people of earth when I turn back the captivity before your eyes, saith Yahweh. And that's what's happening. Our captivity is being turned back. And these Edomites don't like it, because when our captivity gets turned back, theirs begins. And that's what's happening. So this false narratives and this false and fake history, which is so easy to see through at this point, they're trying everything that they can to come against it. Let me give you some evidences from a couple videos that the brother Kudimero does, and it's a Northern Kingdom brother. So, yeah, let's go with this one first. So let me line it up.
Indians person of color. Thus the native families of Robeson County, North Carolina, and all Virginia.
Let's start it again. Oh, you can't rewind it short.
Counties.
So we'll just let it play twice.
Classified as colored persons. Always classified. The native families, again, were classified as colored persons in the 1800, 1810.
And I've done videos over the years, the last 13, 14 years, about the reclassification of natives to Negroes and coloreds. Remember the water fountains that said coloreds, you know, and because in just the same, not long after the so-called white man declared himself white, he declared the natives and the Negroes the same race, which they actually are. Same race, different tribes. All right. The natives were already here in America and indigenous to America, and they brought their brothers who were scattered, who were refugees in Africa, not residents of Africa. They were refugees in Africa. They brought them over to serve slavery and then intermingled them. And that's what's happening. And they tried to deny this fact and this truth.
1820 and 1830 Census of the United States Corporation. Native families classified as colored persons. Carter Woodson, the free Negro heads of families in the United States in 1830, being an indexing of the free colored population, includes many thousands of Indians. Again, look it up. This is written by the 1800, 1810, 1820, and 1830 census are the free person of color category for most non-whites, including Indians person of color. Thus, the native families of Robeson County, North Carolina, and all Virginia counties are always classified as colored persons. Always classified. The native families, again, were classified as colored persons in the 1800, 1810, 1820, and 1830 census of the United States Corporation.
Dirty bastards.
Native families classified as colored persons. Carter Woodson, the free Negro heads of families in the United States in 1830, being an indexing of the free colored population, includes many thousands of Indians.
So the so-called Indians, the Israelites of the Northern Kingdom, all right, who were writing in the ancient Phoenician style of Hebrew, Paleo-Hebrew, which is why the Jewish converts chose to write in the Assyrian script, because that would have ruined their lie if if they were writing the same way. That would have proved beyond a shadow of a doubt what many anthropologists and many people had already said in the 1700s, that the natives were the lost, were the lost tribes. All right, the 10 tribes. And they were never lost. They always knew where they went to. All right. The Bible tells you that they came here to America. It tells you that in 2nd Ezra. All right. And then there are precepts to back that up. And then there are other history books where this information was privy to. Cristobal Colon came here knowing that he used the Bible as his main inspiration to come here. And Cristobal, or Christopher Columbus, as the world knows him, came here with 5 Hebrew interpreters. And that is why. So now let's talk about the natives who are living outside of the reservations, like my grandfather and my grandmother. Let's listen to what they were referred to and what happened to them. Here we go.
Classified as mulatto or free colored. Again, Indians, right? American natives, American indigenous people, American tribal people who are living off the reservation, who have property that is taxable according to the corporation, right? They're classified just because they're on the other side of the fence, again, and have off-reservation property that can be taxable.
And that fact, I couldn't use my grandmother's or grandfather's birth certificate to go to college for free, because I did try to do it. All right. And because when we finally get a hold of when I talked to my aunt, when she's looking at the birth certificate, she said it says mulatto. Though my family knows very well that my grandmother, was a full-blooded Native American. All right. But because she lived on the other side, she didn't live on the reservation. She was referred to as, a mulatto. That's what they put on her birth certificate. All right. And my grandfather's a Reubenite. All right. So native, so-called native 100% up and down. I am. But you would never know that according to the categories that these people created. But here we go.
They were classified as mulatto or free colored, but they're Indians. Free colored.
They're actually Israelites.
What happened in the 60s? Colored, bathroom for colored people only. Right? Fountain drink, colored people only. On the other hand, relatives of the reservation Indians having taxable property or living off reservation normally are classified as mulatto or free colored. Again, Indians.
Dirty bastards.
Right? American natives. American indigenous people. American tribal people who are living off the reservation, who have property that is taxable according to the corporation, right? They're classified just because they're on the other side of the fence, again, and have off-reservation property that can be taxable. They were classified as mulatto.
And that was to prevent, once again, Jake from actually prospering. All right? And to divide us up and categorize us, the accuser of our brethren, right? This is Hosea 1:10. And it reads, Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, Ye are not my people, there it shall be said unto them, Ye are the sons of the living power. All right. Then the children of Judah and the children of Israel will be gathered together and appoint themselves one head, and they shall come up out of the land, for great shall be the day of Jezreel. Once again, when the Israelites are delivered, they're all delivered together. It's not just Judah and Levi. All right. These Israelis are liars. This is Deuteronomy 33:29. Said it comes out every lesson. Happy art thou, O Israel, who is like unto thee, O people saved by the Yahweh, the shield of thy help, and who is the sword of thy excellency. And thy enemies shall be found liars unto thee, and thou shalt tread upon their high places. Shalom. Kwam Yasharallah.